man. I'm about to give you this hole. I'm gonna go fish that one. You see underneath that tree? Oh god, dude. Now I'm gonna go down there, you're gonna pull a nice trout out of this one.
Yeah, that's ice I'm stopping through
Oh
right here.
yeah, yeah.
This is back in February 2017. Early February.
Ever since I saw a video of a beaver attacking a guy, that's really freaked me out, man. Oh yeah. A beaver actually killed a guy over in Russia. He bit his femoral artery.
It's legit, man. It totally happened.
But yeah, it was the beaver was just walking along the road, and I guess the guy thought it'd be a good idea to go ahead and follow him. And the beaver was just kind of waddling along for a while, and then he looks back at the guy. He's like, "Why the fuck are you following me?" And the beaver just stops, looks at him, starts walking again. The dude kept following. The beaver stops, looks at him, just attacks his ass. And I mean, if you think about it, what you're dealing with is like a 60-pound rat. I wouldn't want to f with a 10-pound rat. Yeah.
It's a pretty trippy video, man. I'll try to add it into the comments or something.
I mean, if he's chewing through trees, what you got to offer isn't going to be much resistance, you know?
Yeah, off to the fishing now. So we started the day in the catch and release artificial lures only
Yeah.
section of the Gunpowder River, up around Blue Mount, Maryland.
Not as big as the last one that hit, but not bad either.
But we staged vehicles, my friend and I, so that helped us fish more effectively both in the catch and release and the put and take areas. But the fish in here they're absolutely beautiful. They're not the biggest fish by any means. Most of the trout in here are fairly small. You can find some decent sized ones and the occasional big one, but the biggest thing here is the density. There's a lot of trout in this river. It's a blue ribbon river.
We can cross right
it's
here.
pretty darn good fishing.
It's not too bad. I'm gonna cross.
Yeah, watch this nonsense.
Hold up.
I went down that hill so
yeah.
wrong, it almost looks like I intentionally fell. You always put your feet sideways going down a hill, man. Not straight forward. That was another hit on that inline spinner I was using, kind of like a rooster tail.
What we got? That's a nice brown. Yeah. That's a nice little brown.
But when I say the day started cold, I mean it was cold. You can see the ice on the shore. The guides and our rods were icing up.
I just lost one up there. Not that big though. Nice one, dude. Yeah, 12, 13.
Yeah, my friend was hoping he would beat his personal best. His personal best brown, I think, is about a 14, but this one didn't get there. It's a nice little
I
trout.
got my tape measure if you really want to know.
Especially for the middle of winter.
No, he's not.
But it didn't break his personal
Nah, I
best.
think he's probably around 12. Get your picture with him if you want. So long, Brownie. What we got here? Yep.
Yeah, this is definitely, it says, basically micro fishing. This is very much ultralight fishing. You're not going to come here and with anything heavy. I think most people actually come here with fly rods more than anything else.
This is a fall fish. Dirty fall fish.
Yeah, fall fish, creek chub. Take your pick. I'm not going to argue
I
the point.
cannot imagine using worms back at Sparks Road, because there's so many fall fish there. Good God, there's a lot of fall fish there. They would destroy your pack of worms, man. At least later in the year. I mean, I don't know how bad they are in the beginning of the year, but God bless America later in the year.
Yeah, like that note said, I have a video of the fishing from Sparks Road down to Loch Raven Reservoir.
Itty bitty brown.
They have very large
Oh yeah.
brown trout occasionally,
That's
and the
trout
bass
too.
fishing is excellent later in the
What
year.
we got? Yeah, better than the last one. Better than
Yeah,
what
a
I
lot
just
of
got.
fall fish. If for whatever reason
Not
you
big,
wanted to
but
catch
better.
fall fish, go fish the area of the Gunpowder from Sparks Road down to Loch Raven. There's fall fish in there
I was awfully close to doubling up, man.
in the warmer parts of the year from pretty much May through the summer.
Yeah, it's not terrible brown, especially for winter.
They own half that river, man.
There we go. Let's
They are
get it.
prolific.
Oh, there we go. Not bad. Not bad. Where's that net at? Where's the net? Am I videotaping, dude? No red light on? Alright, good deal.
Yeah, a little better
Where's
brown
the
here.
net?
A little better brown trout.
That's a little better trout. Icing on the cake will be if I get my hook.
Now, at this point in the day, we're firmly into the
There you are.
put and take area, where there's no restrictions on the types of lures or baits you
There
can
you are,
use.
little beauty.
So here I've actually started using the night
Not as big as
crawler
the water
and
first
split
made
shot
him look, but a nice
presentation.
fish. I love those circle hooks, man. Just come right out.
Basically, what you do if you're not familiar with it,
I know. Yes, I know. But I'm getting the
and
picture.
that's a good
Gotta deal
note.
with that.
Definitely use circle hooks.
You are too pretty to not get a picture.
Otherwise, you can really destroy those fish.
No, I don't want to drop you. Come on now.
But essentially, what you're doing is you are using the current to drift your night crawler downstream and feeling for the hits as it's drifting and
I hate to
bouncing
do
on the
this,
bottom.
but I have to.
Yeah, I don't care if it's freezing water. You got to get the underwater shots, man. This is vital. But I mean, for February, it was pretty solid action. When it gets to be around February time frame, I really start getting the fever because there's not much to fish for. Trout season hasn't quite opened yet in terms of the stocking. So having the Gunpowder here to actually go out and catch steady action of brown trout and the occasional rainbow, mostly browns though. Occasional brookie actually in the Gunpowder, but yeah, long story short,
Fall fish.
my friend and I rely on the Gunpowder to get us through those terrible winter months where you can't do much fishing in Maryland.
Oh. Just lost one.
But it's a good chance to see it right here. The darker portion is obviously the deeper portion. I'll refer to it later as the channel. Here we go. I got a rod tip. That's where you want to have your lure, or excuse me, your bait drifting. Yeah, fish on.
Oh, jeez. Hey, bro. I got the fish of the day here so far.
Get a little bit of slow motion on her. For the Gunpowder, it's a very respectable trout.
Real nice brown.
I'm not saying it's huge, don't get me wrong. It's a very respectable trout for the Gunpowder.
Yes, sir.
Yep, she came in right at 14 inches. Nice fish.
$14.
Yeah, that wintertime micro fishing on the ultralight. That's fun, man. At least for me, I love creek fishing. Creek and river fishing.
Yeah, that's a
I
little
love it.
beauty right there, man. Actually, yeah, I better actually.
Yeah, the put and take area here, I believe, is 2 trout per day. But yeah, that's just that note again. The channel is where you want to present your lure or your bait, whatever you're using. That's where you're usually going to find the
All right, buddy.
majority of the fish.
Yep.
Yeah, but this one I do harvest. I generally catch and release here.
She turned sideways.
Because they hold over.
Oh, shucks.
They live pretty well in the Gunpowder year round. But occasionally I will harvest 1 or 2.
Gotta love them. And I was sitting there just watching my rod tip because, I mean, the bouncing is pretty significant in there in the channel. And it was the same thing, like 2 times in a row. It was like bounce, bounce, but it was hard bounces, so I wasn't sure what was going on. And then he latched on again.
But yeah, if you're not familiar with this kind of fishing, it takes a while to be able to discern between bouncing on the bottom and actual strikes. It just takes practice.
think I spend too much time striper fishing because I look at him and I'm like, you know, he's a good fish, but he's not that big. And then I think about it, I'm like, we keep like 12-inch stockers all the time, and he's 2 inches bigger than any stocker. Oh, oh, oh! Did you see that? That's a big one, dude.
Yeah, you can't see it on the video, but she turned broadside when I missed her, and it was a nice trout. Another 14-incher.
Little brown.
Nah, see that? Risking freezing water for the underwater shot. I live for those things, man. There's so many brown trout in that river. Extremely plentiful. This is another one essentially out of the exact same area. I'm fishing in front of a very large boulder, and behind it is a log jam you'll see in a moment. It makes for one hell of a hole. Here we go. This will give you a better look at the hole that I was standing in front of. You're going to see on the right, there's going to be a big boulder in a moment. Nope, it's almost in the middle of the screen right there. There it is. I was standing in front of that, fishing either side, and now I'm going to do my best. It's very hard to fish this hole. You have to cast over trees, things like that. I'm actually going to get down on my knees here in a moment to try to stealthily approach this this hole to do a quality presentation to the fish. And eventually it pays off. Not that time. I missed that one. Yeah, I'm literally over 2 different trees right now. It could have gone very badly, but it's a hard hole to really make a quality presentation to. Watch this nonsense. Had way too much slack. Way too much slack. Tried to reel it down. Got tangled around the reel, tangled around the rod tip. What a mess. I should have been much more prepared to set that hook. I'm lucky I got a good hook set on this rainbow, otherwise there's no way I would have landed it.
Nice, dude. How big?
Pretty rough screw up. But yeah, we doubled up, man, so when it works out, I'm not going to complain about it. Yeah, this is my my second for the day. I'm much more apt to keep rainbows because there's very limited natural reproduction of rainbows in this part of the river. Most of those here are stockers, and I'd much rather keep a stocked fish than a native wild fish. The native wild fish are actually probably better for you in terms of nutrition, but I generally try to respect the natives and the wilds and leave those fish in the river. But yeah, this is still that same hole. I mean, I probably could have sat here all day and caught browns this size, but even I eventually get tired of browns this size. But like I said, February after a long winter, not being able to do much fishing, love it.
Aww.
Got your 4-pound test and your 5-foot ultralight, get to it. Because they're voracious, man. Those little browns are so voracious, so much fun.
Big? Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah, we just doubled up again. It's a fun time, man. I love going out there with my friend. It's such a pretty little river.
Little brown.
But this will actually be the last brown for this video. This is a pretty short video.
You can tell
today.
it was a brown by the hit.
Just a little bit of microfishing in the Gunpowder.
Gimme.
In case you're interested in heading out there.
Gimme the word.
They do stock it in the spring. And when they do, you can actually find some much bigger ones in there. And you'll find those 14, 15, 16 inches in there, even an 18 now and again. So,
middle.
By all means, if you like this kind of fishing, get on out there. That's the Gunpowder River
Hello,
up
beauty.
in Monkton, Blue Mountain area. But yeah, thanks for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Be a lot more content coming. This is February 2017, so you can see I'm a little bit behind. There's a lot more coming.